Hey everybody! Oh my gosh, we're so excited. So excited. Hi. Hey everybody, welcome in. Welcome in. So excited for you guys to be here. We're just gonna wait a minute. Oh. Yeah. Well, give it just a second. How is everybody? How's everybody feeling after that episode? How are we feeling? How are we feeling about that HOH? I have my personal opinions, but would gladly talk about it. Yay, Nick's here. Maybe. No, it didn't. Why is it not working? Oh, there it is.
Hey,
Hi.
what's up? How are you?
Hey, good. How are
I'm
you?
good. I'm good. I can't complain.
Yeah. How have you been? How's everything going?
Great. Yeah, great. Everything is fine. Just got the kids to bed, so we're ready to rock. I had to make sure I
Yeah.
got them to sleep before I got on.
Honestly, valid. I don't have kids, but totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of open up, say hey, kind of ask you about your life. How's it going? Obviously you have two beautiful daughters.
Thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, just tell us a little bit about kind of what that's like. What's it like being a dad?
Yeah. It's like the best. I can't even explain to you. It's the best feeling ever being a parent.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how much it changes you and like how you learn to just I can't really put it into words like the love that you have for your kids is such an amazing thing. Obviously I have an amazing fiance as well that makes parenting
Mm-hmm.
so much more fun, but it's just like a crazy love that I can't put into words. You just feel complete, honestly.
Yeah, and your fiance is so beautiful. Like,
Thank
oh,
you.
she's so pretty. Yeah, so how's everything been going since after the show? I know
Well,
it's been a while. It's been a
yeah,
while.
I know, six years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The show was definitely not the most. That was a crazy experience. That was a crazy experience for I think probably all of us. Obviously, we weren't the most well received cast, so that was a little tough. It was definitely a reality check, and very humbling. But I think with experiences like that, there's a lot of growth. So it was a cool experience to be able to have and to be able to learn a lot. And
Yeah, absolutely.
it was cool. It was fun though. Like being on the show was amazing. The jury segment was fun. It just was the free you lived like royalty in the jury house. It was like, a $10 million house we were in. And it was crazy. It was the whoever's house it was his weekend house. It was crazy.
That's
Um,
insane.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The idea of
Um,
having a weekend house.
yeah, I couldn't
It's like,
even
eh.
imagine. So, but yeah, it was beautiful. That was fun. It was very like able to decompress. Like,
Mhm.
them top four didn't obviously get to go to jury, or I don't know if like people know that, but like Cliff, who was fourth, didn't get to come to jury. He like after a round table, we just went back into hotel rooms and that was it. So
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I actually did not know that. So that's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, fourth place doesn't get to go to jury, so
Oh,
we
that's
get
kind of
locked,
sad.
we get locked in a sequester again, which is not
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so I mean, that was an experience. And then, COVID kind of shut us down like four months afterwards,
Mhm.
which sucked. That was really hard. It was like we finally
Yeah.
started getting to normalcy again, and then we got, the world shut down on us. So, um, yeah, that was hard. That was a hard year, but yeah, it was fun. I think, I had a great time on the show, and it was just a great experience.
Hmm. Do you still do you still have connections with people? Because I know you don't post a ton, so
Nah, I know
um
I don't. I never was
which
big on social
honestly
media.
props to you honestly because sometimes it
Yeah,
gets a little hectic.
I didn't like when I got off the show, I posted, obviously I was posting like once a week, but you're like entitled to do that when you get off.
Hmm.
But I don't really post much now. Christy, like she's an aunt to my children. Love her. So my kids call her Aunt Christy and her wife Aunt Jamie.
Oh,
Our kids are my youngest and her twins are 9 days apart or 11 days apart, so really
oh
close.
wow.
Yeah, really close. So they're awesome, and she lives like an hour and 15 minutes from me, so it's an easy drive.
Yeah.
I talked to Holly a little bit on the phone. I'll call her every once in a while. And then I'll like DM some of my castmates, every once in a while. But then too, obviously Tommy. We just started kind of chatting again more recently. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
we
it's
just we just had him on a couple weeks ago. He was chatting with
yeah,
us.
it was
So
just his birthday yesterday. I think his birthday was yesterday, 2 days
yeah.
ago. So that was cool. It's crazy. We're all getting old. It's 35. I'm 33. To think I was in my 20s when I was on the show is wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's interesting to see like because you guys are just normal people. To me anyway. I'm like,
We
you guys are just
are.
normal
Yeah.
people. Like
Normal
you've been
people
on a
held to an
show.
normal people held to an unrealistic standard. Uh,
And so it's just like it's cool to see you guys go from like having a quote unquote normal life to then being on a show where thousands and thousands of people watch you and they feel like they know you and feel like they are invested into your life, but you have like this whole other life. Like you now
yeah,
have a fiance, you have two kids, like you're doing this whole other life that is not reality, like
yeah,
TV.
yeah.
So
I think. Well, I don't think anyone on our cast has really got a chance to get back on reality TV. I know Tommy. He has another show coming out, and I think him and Sis a season of the challenge. But I don't think any of us are getting on anytime soon. But I'm so far past that. I think it was a great experience to have. Obviously,
mhm.
before kids was super cool. I got to live. I had never even had roommates. I was living with my mom, so that was like a learning experience for me as well. But yeah, I don't know. It was you're definitely held to an unrealistic standard. I know the live feeders think that they know you well and they see everything, and they see a lot. Um,
Mhm.
but I think that they also hold you to that standard once you get out. And for me, going into that show, I said, it's a game. And, from around here on the East Coast, we're obviously very brash. And I didn't realize that
Mhm.
people weren't like that. I guess I was ignorant of me. Like for me, anytime you play sports, like people trash talk, like it's a game, like it's not real life. I think some of the best athletes in the world are when they put the shoulder pads on and the helmet on, they are the meanest people in the world during that game, and then the game's
Mhm.
over, back to reality. So I think that was kind of the way I went about it, and maybe that wasn't right for Big Brother, but that's just kind of how I did it. So yeah, I mean, obviously there was things I would probably change now, knowing
Yeah,
more.
I think it was interesting on your season. You guys had very interesting personalities. I mean, there's always different personalities, but I think
Yeah.
your season specifically, and with like Christy and Tommy like knowing each other, like it
Yeah, that's
it was
bullshit.
just it was very interesting to like kind of watch it all play out and things like that. Um Yeah, so that's super cool. So I want to kind of jump into this season. Have you been catching up? Have you been
Yeah, yeah. So
watching? Like,
I didn't watch today, but I'm so caught up. I don't watch the feeds, but I follow Big Brother updates, so I already know everything going on. So um I know Ava Pearl won HOH.
yeah.
Which she's an interesting character. So
So how are we feeling about this season?
um I gotta be honest. I think any season that has a returnee, especially a legend like Rachel Riley, it they make the cast a little bit weaker in my opinion. I felt the same way about Big Brother 19. I thought there was like 4 or 5 like solid super players on there.
Hmm.
And the rest are kind of that follower mentality. I feel like a lot of that is now. Like I don't really see a lot of good game players. A lot of recruits again on the season. So I think that's tough. Um, but I think it's interesting. I'm very much rooting for Keanu. I know he's obviously not.
Yes, another Keanu stan.
Yeah, so his line, by the way, of I believe you have a prompt, like we've been saying that in our house
So
nonstop. It's the
iconic.
funniest thing I've ever heard. That was great. I don't know why she got so mad because it didn't seem like they were being very nice to him. But again, that's again with Big Brother, like people pick and choose who's allowed to do what. So,
Hmm.
and as a player on the show, you don't know who's liked and not liked. So, if it was the other way around, who knows what would have been happening. But
Yeah, yeah.
I really
Yeah,
do
I
like
got
him. I don't think he's the best game player by any means, but he's definitely a comp beast.
Oh, for sure. I think that it's because he's such a comp beast and because he was so vocal about wanting to take everybody out, which, by the way, when
Not
somebody says
surprised.
that, I'm just like, duh. Like, that's kind of
Yeah,
the point. Like, he's just being vocal about it while the rest of you guys
yeah,
are just sitting there. Like, everybody's thinking the same thing. But I think it just was able to create a larger target than them. But yeah, I'm such a Keanu stan. am I I like the underdogs,
yeah.
and the people that always get targeted for basically no reason, essentially. And I feel like he just got put in a really weird spot. And
Yeah,
so
he
for him
did.
to get out of it.
Right, he's the comp beast, and he was the threat in the beginning, and he showed out, which was nice. So
Mhm.
I was super excited for him. I haven't been mad at any of the evictions, honestly. I think this upcoming eviction is going to be a little crazy because I'm not sure when Zach is able to give Ava Pearl $10,000, but like that's obviously going to happen. And I think she just won
Mhm.
5,000, right? And
Mhm. Yeah.
so I don't know how that's going to all work out,
Mhm.
but that'll be kind of crazy. But do you know when he has to use it? Like, is that after the
I
ceremony?
don't I don't know. I don't know if they said. I think that he can just use it
Do
to
it?
keep him. I don't know if he can use it to keep himself safe, like as an initial nom, or if he can use it just whenever. I'm not really sure. I don't know how specific those rules were, but
Yeah, I'm not sure.
but
I'm
he
not
does
sure
have
how
to
that
use
will
it.
work. But if she does that, I don't think Catherine's using it, so that means that he comes off. She still has to renom. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest. I
that
really
makes
hope it's
sense.
Morgan. I
It
really
could
hope.
be potentially because Morgan and Rachel were fighting today. And
Oh, I did
so,
not see
and
that.
you know what happens when somebody goes against Rachel.
Yeah, you're dead.
God forbid.
And this is the thing too. Like, she's all over the place, and even with Zach, she's. I'm not talking. I'm not talking bad about any of them on a personal level, by the way. But just on a game level, she's like almost obsessed with him. Like I saw, she was like mad that
Mhm.
he hugged Kelly first. It just was weird. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Someone hugs first. Like, it's just so petty to me. But she's just so in her head. You can tell. Like, she's very, very much struggling right now
Hmm.
with being in there. I think it's just making her very neurotic. Who knows how she is in the real world? And
Yeah,
she's a gamer.
I got to meet her
Oh, okay.
last December at Hearts of Reality. Well, it used to be called Hearts of
Yeah,
Reality,
yeah,
but
yeah.
now it's, something else. But anyway, she's super sweet. She's one of my favorite all-time people, whatever. But as soon as I saw her go into the house, I was like, she's got to go. Like
Yeah,
like she
she's.
already won. Let these other people play. Like
Oh, I
I'm
was
very
talking about
much.
Morgan.
Oh, you're talking about Morgan.
Morgan, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
like
I was
Rachel
talking
Riley.
about Rachel.
I like Rachel. I'm so
Like
sorry.
I love Rachel.
No, Morgan, I'm saying, is all over the place right now.
Oh, Morgan is all over the place. Yeah, she was like
Yeah,
crying all day today.
yeah. Well, I think she knows that she's about to go up. Um,
Yeah, I
well,
think it was talked about. I actually saw Will, Mickey, and who was it? I think it was Ava. Yeah, because they were in the HOH room just earlier today, and they were talking about the fight between Rachel and Morgan. But they were actually talking about Rachel potentially being like, she's right, she's got to go. Like she has to go
yeah,
up. But obviously Ava and Rachel are close, so like Ava's not gonna do
yeah.
that.
You cannot. If you have a returnee on your season, you can never tell production. I wouldn't say it out loud to anyone that you are targeting them because I promise you, they
Mhm.
will make it where you can't target them. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Look what happened with, when BB18 Paul was one of my favorite players ever. BB19 Paul, I didn't really like love that much. Um, but Cody was trying to get him out week one. Like if he didn't
Hmm.
have 3 weeks of protection, he would we be saying he played, the greatest game? Um,
Right.
because I thought him on eight. Like I remember when I watched 18 and I watched a finale, I couldn't sleep that night that he lost. Like I was pissed, like pissed that he lost.
Yeah,
Um,
I was actually just saying that earlier today. I was like, Paul was one of my favorite players as far as like, but his first season, like his first season, I was like fantastic. But the second one, I was like,
yeah, I just didn't like again, but that was a weak cast.
yeah,
Besides
yeah.
a select few, I thought Jess Nixon was really good, and obviously Cody like probably could have, but again they were against Paul. Like look what happened.
Hmm.
So I think Cody get evicted twice that season? I don't remember, but that was just crazy.
I'm trying to see if anybody has any questions. You can drop them down. I know there was a question earlier I just saw. Do you still participate in Taco Tuesday?
Uh, I don't. I don't really. I don't make tacos. I don't really eat the shells of. tacos. So,
So funny.
I did probably a little bit like when I got off the show, but it was so long ago. I
Yeah.
did also see a question in there about the squirrel. Someone asked on banishment. So they had just put the uh, bag over them, and then they cut the scene, and then they walked out, and then I don't remember if they put something else in the bag to make it look like they might have like an extra bag to make it look like they were carrying the person, but they weren't actually doing that.
Interesting.
Yeah. There was some crazy. I have a crazy one actually from my season.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It was the HOH that Jessica won. Which, by the way, was amazing at those quick memory comps, like that you had to study. She almost won the second HOH doing the comp. I think she got second to Jack, and then she won that other one. But that HOH, Nicole didn't lock her answer in on one of the questions, and they threw the question out, which I think probably because she was America's favorite at that point, so maybe they were catering to it. I
Mm,
would have like they probably should have just like kicked her out of that comp, like just she didn't get the answer right. But I remember Jess had told us afterwards that she got that question wrong, which is crazy because she would have been out. Um, but that's just how things go. And like obviously watching the show, they didn't show that they threw that question out. So um, I thought that was funny. But she
yeah, I
was,
think it's I mean, I feel like it's no real secret to the true BBers, the people that like
yeah,
really watch the show. Like, of course, there's like different
crazy
stuff
little
that
thing.
production does, like
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I haven't watched my full season ever. I just watched myself get evicted like a couple weeks ago, and I think Jackson just won the wall comp. So that's where I'm at. I think he's about to put Jess up because she said that she was a really big mental threat, which like she really was on them comps. Like on our season, she would probably win against anyone.
mm,
Like she was just I don't know if she has like photographic memory from that stuff, but she was a beast at that for sure. And that's how it goes. Like everyone has their strong suits in the game, you know. So that was definitely her. She was dangerous with them comps for sure.
So I see a question. Obviously, a lot of people are going to ask, like, what's some advice? But I think this is a good question. How many times did you audition before you got on?
Okay, this is also crazy. So, I guess I could talk about this. So I had sent in for BB20. So season before was the first season I ever did, and then I got a call for 21. I was out at a brewery. I got a call from a California number, and obviously I had applied again. So I was like hoping that it was that. This is the end of May, by the way, and I left for the show June 14th. So in like 2 weeks, I did everything, but it was insane. But
Wow.
he called me and was like, "Hey, did you ever get a call from Big Brother 20 for semifinals?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Well, you're supposed to." Like, so that was kind of crazy. I was like, "Oh shit." He's like, "Did you apply this year?" I said, "I sent a video and I did a casting call." I said, "I didn't do well on the casting call, but I was like, I know my video was good." Well, he literally watches my video while I'm on the phone with him. He's like, "Okay, we're doing semifinal interview on Zoom tomorrow." So this was a Saturday. I do a semifinal interview on Sunday. The next day, which is a Monday, I find out that I'm flying to Burbank for finals the next week. Yeah, it was crazy. So this is the end of May. I had to get clothes that met. I like didn't take pictures. I had to get all these pictures. I had to like send them stuff. It was horrendous. It was such a long process, and I had no time because well, I don't know how they do it now, but there's three different finals, but like they don't mean
Hmm.
any different. But there's one in March, one in April, one in May. And in my final, there was only me, David, and Nicole cast. So they probably were like looking for specific people at that point. So I was super excited when David was in the house because I was like trying to make eyes with him, and David didn't realize it. Obviously, he got banished really quick. And when he came back, me and him were talking about it, and it was funny. Like he's
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I didn't know what the hell you were doing because we couldn't talk
right.
before we went on the show." And so he was like, "Dude, I had no idea what you were looking at me." He was like, "You were freaking me out." I was like, "Bro, I was trying to get you to remember me." That's funny.
You're like, hey.
Yeah,
Um, there's another question. Do you like Big Brother do you think Big Brother Canada is better than the US? Have you
I've
seen
never
Big Brother
watched Canada.
Canada?
I've never watched Canada. I talked to Ryan Ballantyne though from Big Brother Canada and Michael Stubley from Big Brother Canada. They're the only two people I talked to. Um, I'm in a Dynasty Fantasy Football League with Ryan Ballantyne and Michael Stubley, who was first evicted from the COVID season, so they didn't even finish that season. So that really sucked for them.
Hmm.
He was the only person evicted. He's really cool. He actually lives in California now, so um,
I
that was fun.
actually, yeah, Big Brother Canada is really interesting because it's obviously like a whole different setup. Like
Yeah,
it's completely different. But yeah, it is really interesting. Um, okay, what were you thinking doing the dishes during the earthquake?
Well, I think that was the second one we had. We just had one the day before, and it like wasn't bad. It was like it was shaking. Like obviously it was shaking, but it was like not bad enough where I was worried. I was like, just let me finish the damn dish. I remember Jackson freaked out like Nick, okay. So we like went onto the table, but no, it was back to back earthquakes, like back to back. That was crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be scary.
yeah, that
It
was.
was,
I know
I
people that were like had family in LA. Like I remember Holly was nervous. She was like, "What if like it was a massive earthquake and like people were really messed up?" And I was like, I didn't really think that, but I mean, I also lived in Jersey, so I didn't really care.
yeah. Have you always lived in Jersey?
Yeah, yeah, I'm born and raised in Jersey, so I live close to Philly. I think that was like a misconception that I was from Philly, because
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm an Eagles fan. Like I bleed
Hmm.
green. I'm all Philly sports teams.
Shout out
Yeah,
Eagles.
yeah, but yeah, I'm only 15 minutes, but I've always lived in Jersey. So yeah,
Cool.
I
If
like the
you
East
could
Coast.
play in any other season, which season would you play
Oh
in
gosh.
besides your own?
Well, so I only started watching during season 17, which also was how I think also helped me get cast. Um, just to backtrack real quick, there was an earthquake back when season 17 was on, and it knocked our power out for a week. I just happened to go to my aunt's house because they got their power back first, and it just happened to
Hmm.
be the premiere of BB17. Like I had no idea what Big Brother. And I always said in my interview, like there was this Asian guy talking with a country accent, and it was James. And I was like, "What the hell are you watching?" And then I got hooked. Um,
Yeah.
I think 20 had like the best cast that I've seen, like that I've really liked. Um, I would have liked to be on 20, but I don't know where I fit in on that cast. Like I just don't think I fit in at all. Um, 17
Season
actually was like
20,
a pretty good season too. Season 20 was Casey, Tyler, Brett,
uh,
Landon, Fess, Haley.
yeah.
They have like a very memorable cast. Like everyone, Swaggy, Bailey, like they were. I probably can name every person on the cast. But yeah, I just don't know who I am. Like personality wise, I feel like I could be a chameleon. I think I was very impulsive on my season. I am a little bit impulsive,
I was like,
but I'm just saying like I would have toned it down with like a different cast. Like I'm not acting crazy like that with different people in there. That like it's a vibe, and like everyone was
mhm.
kind of doing it. I just kind of fed off of it. So uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I always say like I get some flack sometimes because season 20 is one of my favorite seasons just because of how it was played. I feel like it was played exactly the way Big Brother was intended to be played.
Yeah, that was a great
With
season.
like the sides and the way that people were winning and the strategy and just kind of going back and forth. I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic season. But
Yeah, it was one of my favorites. I don't know why. Tyler gets a lot of hate, like weird hate from like the BB trolls, and he's an amazing. First of all, one of the most amazing people I've ever met. I love Ty. I don't talk to him, but he's really amazing. Um,
I think he should have won recently.
Casey Clark and Ozza are by far the two nicest people I've ever met
Mhm.
from Big Brother, like hands down, like not even close. The nicest people ever. Um,
Yeah, Ozzo was also at Hearts of Reality the last 2 years, so I got to see her. She can
Yeah, I'm not
sing,
even kidding.
like
She's the nicest person I've ever met,
she's
like
so
in the
sweet.
world. Yeah.
Um, okay, I'll just ask a couple more questions. I'm assuming this is during during the casting process. Did you recognize anybody else? Like, did you see anybody in the casting process where you were like, I know them, or did you see them
That's
maybe and
good.
then see them on TV? Like, does that make sense?
Oh, so you know what? I always look. So when we did finals, so in your finals, there's two different things. The first time you get to see anyone, you can't talk, obviously, is you have your psych test and you do the Wonderlic test. Then if you make it through, then you have an interview with the executive producers, and then they cut half the cast. And then you go to the second one. So in the second one, you're sitting with everyone, and that's when I saw David, and that's when I saw Nicole in there. So like I had knew them like immediately when I walked in. But there was this one kid that I swore was going to be on the show,
Hmm.
like brown hair, glasses. He just had like this personality to him, and I was again without talking, and I just felt like he was going to be on. Like that was the one kid that I was like positive was going to be on. Anyone in my casting like experience that I had, I've never seen. any of them on TV again or like be able to get on TV. So who knows kind of what happened. Again, COVID happened right after us, so then they had to do that rinky dink all-star season. Um, so maybe they would have had a chance then. I know Kenny did tell me that he was very far in the process. He was Sam Smith essentially. He would have been Sam. Kenny from last year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Bald guy, older. I mean, he
Yeah, yeah,
struggled
yeah.
because he had young kids. He didn't have young kids when he was
Yeah.
21,
Yeah.
but he went very far. Um,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's been really hard to watch. Pretty much after y'all's season. Well, I would say probably Taylor's season was the last season that I was like really, really into. Um, but yeah, it's
I have,
I don't
yeah.
even remember
There's
last season. I'm not gonna lie.
one time it'll come out the truth of that. There's some crazy stuff that happened on that season, though, where Monty didn't win. Um, but Taylor, I thought, had probably the best final speech I've ever
Oh,
heard.
absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
was
Like,
very good. But I think that's like that pageant experience coming out. Like just
hmm
like Chelsea, who Chelsea I thought played an amazing game last year, by the way. But the key to playing an amazing game is you need someone that you can manipulate. And for her, it was Mackenzie. Mackenzie
hmm
was a comp beast, but also she believed anything Chelsea told her. So like she literally got rid of Leah. Like that was her number one. Like you got rid of
Yeah.
one essentially. But
Oh,
it's hard to find that. Like you can try to manipulate other people, but unless you have
hmm
someone that like is a little bit naive, it's never gonna happen. And so like Chelsea had that with MJ. Like she tries that with someone else, like it might not work. But I thought how Chelsea played the game was honestly pretty flawless, in my opinion. I don't know how you felt about that season last year, but I really thought Chelsea was really good.
yeah, I watched bits and pieces of it. I didn't really, it was really hard to get into for me. Like, I was
Yeah.
just, yeah. But I think Chelsea, I think because Mackenzie took Chelsea to the end,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I was like, which I knew that. I was like, girl, like
I
maybe
think she
don't do
thought she was
that.
going to win because she had like
Yeah.
eight comp wins, which it's funny because in our jury table, which Dr. Will Kirby, used to be the person, and I didn't know at the time, but I don't think he won any. I think he's the only person to ever not have any comp wins and win. But I remember he said that like it's not all about comp wins, which I do agree, but I think it's particular to the season. Like for us, Jackson dominated, but like if he didn't win all them comps, he was out. Where
He was gonna
Chelsea,
be
like
gone. Yeah,
Mackenzie didn't always need to win,
right.
so like Jackson's ability to just run the table, and I think at the time had set the record for most comp wins.
hmm
Like you couldn't touch him in that show. But if he never won all them things, and obviously Holly had a couple huge wins, but that kept him safe. But he was going home where MJ didn't always have to win. She just was really good at comps.
Right. Also, it looks like Cliff is here. Hi, Cliff.
I know Cliff's the good.
We love Cliff. Okay, cool. Well, that's all. Those are all the questions that I have. But obviously, something that I have always really appreciated you for was the fact that you're an advocate for mental health. I think that especially being on Big Brother, it's something that people don't realize like how much of a toll it is because you're
Yeah.
literally locked in a house with no outside anything. Like, it definitely can take a hard toll. So I would just like if you could just kind of give us a little tidbit of just how to kind of maintain our mental health as we go on our days, anything like that, or any kind of advice, I guess.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing for people is that especially coming off reality TV, we tend to care about the perspective and opinions of other people that don't care about us. And I think I made a video on this like a couple weeks ago. Um, but it's like essentially we're like a little flower trying to regrow ourselves, and we're like protected in this dome, and we keep trying to open up this dome to people that will never see us any differently anyway, and they
Mm-hmm.
just keep snipping our flower, and we have to keep rebuilding it. And it's like, why am I trying to prove to other people who I am when I know who I am? Like if they're never going to give me the grace to change, they're never going to give me the grace to grow. Like this is why people don't change. But I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to fall into that. So I think just knowing yourself and knowing your truth was extremely important for me, because there's always going to be people that don't like you. There's always going to be people, and this isn't in real life, people aren't going to like you for reasons that you might not even do anything wrong. And I think it's knowing your truth and it's saying to yourself, how am I doing? Like, is there something that I would have changed? Do I think that I did something wrong? Being accountable for yourself, but also not allowing other people to tell you who you are. Because at the end of the day, you know, and obviously if you're religious, you know, I've become closer to God. I know he knows who I am, and that's really what
Mm-hmm.
matters to me. If other people want to have opinions about me, like sometimes it sucks, but at the end of the day, like it's not true. I know who I am, and I'm not going to allow other people to tell me that. So I think for people, you need to know your own truth. Take care of yourself. I think self care is extremely important, even if it's only 5 minutes a day. Being able to take a walk, journal, play video games, listen to music. You need to be able to do something to take care of yourself because you will burn out if you do not have boundaries and you don't have balance.
Right. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. Well, thank you so much for being here and just having a cute little interview. Obviously, for everybody else, thank you guys so much for joining. And yeah, that's it.
Yep. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.